Hey friends, welcome to my YouTube channel KURZTCOX, and in this channel we are going to see how I fly real flight simulator aircrafts. And I tell you that this is one of the best simulators or simulation game that I have ever seen in my life. I was very fascinated about the flying planes, seeing looking planes with uh, when I was very small in my early childhood days, I really wanted to be a pilot, but just because of some reasons, I was not able to become now. But still, there are certain memories which are still left in my heart, though rest of them have been buried. But with taking those small memories, I play this game, and sometimes I feel that those those habit or hobby which is still in my that passion is coming outside through my RFS game. So this game really helps you to see and how the plane flies. And in this channel, I really talk a lot. I really talk a lot about the concepts, about the things which I generally know. I'm not saying that all my things that I'm going to tell you in this channel or through this YouTube channel going to be accurate. I really suggest you to please go and Google it, and or go to Wikipedia to search it and validate it. It's just that small knowledge that I have gained from the multiple channels, multiple resources that I'm going to share with you. So without wasting much time, let's start fly real flight simulator. So since I belong to India, so my first flight, I have also, before starting that, you can also go and watch my other two videos where I have flight Airbus 380 or Boeing 737. Now, this time I'm going to fly 737-800. Now, this is the first video with my voice, and I want to continue with this. So, Air India, I'm selected, and if you see on my left hand side, there is a list of varieties of planes. I'm very sorry, since morning there's some issues with my network, so sometimes it's connect, sometimes it's not. I don't know why it's happening. But anyway, so Boeing 373 VR 145. Now this is a speed where you want your plane to lift up while reaching to this speed or after reaching to this speed. So you have to maintain the balance of speed with the power engines and other forces. Then there is a VLO landing gear speed 170, which requires the speed should be of your plane while landing on the runway. So passenger 160, cargo weight is 9,000 approx. Okay, confirm. I need to select the sector. Sector means in the path from location A to location B. So if I'm flying an Indian flight, obviously I want to fly in India, because 737-800 Boeing is very common in the Indian, any airlines running or any airline carriers that are running in India, be it your Go Air or Indigo or SpiceJet or Air India. So these are the single engine aircrafts. I mean, single one engine on your left, another on your right. Now Airbus 380 and Boeing 747, they have four engines, a double engine system, two on your left and two on your right. So I selected New Delhi takeoff from gateway. Gateway means from where the passenger are going to onboard them, and taking landing at Bombay. So Delhi to Alright, so this is only. So we are on the runway. So let's see, this is a high definition runway. So it is absolutely marvelous, fantastic craft. So this is the best thing I like about RFS, because this gives you the real life or real world experience. So currently my plane is parked at the boarding point, and we need to start off the engine But before starting the engine, I need to take permission. They need approvals from the air traffic control. Now, in order to get approval from air traffic control, the only way to establish the connection between air traffic and your craft is the radio. And just because there is no power, how I'm going to connect the radio? Because even for a power that comes from an engine, I still need to push engines or turn on engines. But so apart from engine, there is another two sources of power in the aircraft. There is the APUs, auxiliary power units, which helps aircraft to give the power other than the propulsions, like giving lights, giving on your spoilers, the flaps. But most of the pilots, they wanted to keep as a backup, as a reserve, because if it's on the boarding point, the ground power unit is available. If it's available, obviously the pilot first choice is to take the power from the ground power system. So I take a ground power unit from the ground, the external powers. And I also wanted that till the time when my passengers comes inside the craft, they feel the cooling temperature. It's because there is a hot outside, so I also want to power from outside from the ground for air cooler unit. Now, since I got a power in my all navigations or all equipments, components, so now I'm going to connect the air traffic controller for clearance.
Ground, good day.
Good day, go ahead.
At parking, information, Alpha, read to copy.
Okay. So 6
You are clear to Victor,
6213
Alpha,
is
Bravo,
my
Bravo, Via,
captain
Alpha,
code.
Lima, India, Juliet, Alpha, Transition, Alpha, Kilo, Echo, Lima, Alpha, 4,000 feet. Contact when ready to start.
Alright, so
Clear to Victor, Alpha,
They are
Bravo,
saying
Bravo,
that
Via, Alpha, Lima, India,
want to-
Juliet, Alpha, Transition, Alpha, Kilo, Echo, Lima, Alpha, 4,000 feet. When ready to start.
alright.
Redback is correct.
So the redback is correct. So this means that I need to now take permission for startup of the engines.
Ground, request startup.
Startup approved. Report when ready to taxi.
Startup approved. Call you back when ready to taxi.
Meanwhile, I'll get the passengers doors and refuel my craft at the cargo weight, at passengers, onboard passenger 106, and meanwhile the passengers are inside. I cannot start the engine because there is hot airs are coming and there is a fuel truck standing next to the engine, so I cannot start the engine until the fuel will not get filled. So everything is now completed. The fuel truck is ready. The detached cargo, so closing the cargo door, closing and the packs came inside. So let me communicate with my crew. So
Ladies and gentlemen,
let me give them
the captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. Ladies and gentlemen,
all right.
this is your chief flight attendant.
Let's
On behalf
first
of our captain and the entire crew, welcome aboard. At this time,
The
make sure
engines.
your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position and that your seatbelt is correctly fastened. Also, your portable
Let us
electronic
wait to
devices
go
must
to
be set to
20%,
airplane mode until
because
an
at
announcement is
0%
made.
throttle your engine capacity
Thank
is
you.
20%. So let us now unplug my ground power unit and ACUs, and let me give the navigation lights. Stops are the blinking lights. Navigation are the red and green lights at each edge of the wings. Then there is a beacon light at the top, and one at top and one at the bottom. We do not need a landing light because it's still a daylight. So seatbelt, alright, obviously no smoking. We do not need the APU. Let's see, there is fuel. Okay, 75% of fuel. So we are almost ready. So I will ask for a pushback.
Ground. Request pushback.
So,
Pushback approved at own discretion.
okay, so the reason why I need a pushback because the plane do not have the reverse gear. They cannot go back on their own. We need a pushback. Taxis to take them to the taxiway, and plane always move in a forward direction. Pushback. So before going to pushback, let me see the map. Alright, I have to take first left. Okay. Alright. It's far off from the holding point. Oh my god, you have to cross the runway 28 and have to go to runway 27. I'm sure this is Terminal 1. This is Terminal 1. Terminal 1 in New Delhi has 3 runways, 29, 27, 28, 2 and fro 9, 10 and 11. Okay. Get the map on my screen. So generally the planes should move on these yellow strips. We are on the line. Stop. So we are in a position where we can take a forward turn. So let's take
Ground.
position for
Request
taxi.
taxi.
Taxi to holding point runway 27.
Okay, so they have given approval from
Roger. Taxi to holding point
here
runway
to my
27.
holding point, which is here somewhere at crossing over before entering to the runway 27. I'll show you. So let's start. Just gives your throttle a little power and gives them back, because we don't want my craft to act as a Formula 1 racing car without being on the runway. Taxiway are very, very sensitive areas because it's not only your plane is running out there, so there are the other planes also, where in this case I cannot see other planes here, but in the real life there's too much planes on the taxiway, so you have to be really sure. Let me see if I can fly from somewhere. So it's a little difficult, the small planes, to fly from cockpit view because the visibility is less, while in Airbus 380 or 747 the wide view. But it's because you have to think at this point that you are a captain, you need to have that vibe. So I am trying to get my plane on yellow strip. So simulations are a little sensitive because depend upon your device components or device features, functions, but real life in planes they are not that too sensitive. You have to pre-plan them everything before them give you the signals to run or to brake. You have to also see your side if there's no plane coming or crossing your way. Because it's night, you cannot see the yellow strips, so you have to fly on these green strips. So this takes time. This takes a lot of time. I don't know why the simulation still also have a problem of taking things slow. So even if you want to fly from Delhi to Mumbai, it generally takes 2.5 hours in real life. And even in your plane, if you're playing a game, it takes almost 2 hours or 1 hour and 45 minutes almost to fly, even in simulation. So my speed is 27 knot. Okay, so I have to take a turn. This is a steep turn, so the speed is higher. So let me
Spoilers.
check my spoiler. So it reduces the speed. Let's take a turn from here. And then take another turn. So engines generally also have the reverse power, which helps to reduce your speed when you are during the time of landing. And friends, please do subscribe my channel. I will bring up a lot more content to tell you, chit chat. Ta-da. So I have to take another left turn. I don't know from here, do I need it? No, not this one, the next one. See, I'm riding them on yellow strips. Need a fix. So you need to stop it here. You need to stop, give a break, and chop. Okay. Now why you need to take a stop? Because you need to speak to air traffic control to pass this runway, because you do not know, maybe some other flight will be descending or landing or taking off. We do not need a collision, so let me take the clearance. Do not have the options here. That option is not here because that is there in multiplayer mode. In a multiplayer mode, you also have the APS, a human who is also a player. They are not systems. Currently, the ATC is a computer based, but in a multiplayer, ATC is also a player like me who are working as or who are playing this game, being or acting as an ATC. Alright, so we have taken a turn now, so we have to go straight. If you see the red lights shining there, that is a runway. So let me pull up my flap to 5.
Flaps.
Generally it depends upon the speed, because if you pull, all flaps are generally used while taking a landing, but it also used to stabilize your aircraft or help us to take a lift. So sometimes it happens. So sometimes if the winds are fast or there is an imbalance in your speed and the wind, you properly use the flaps. So you go Google it, when to use flaps, when to not. You get a lot of information. So we are going straight, and then we have to take a permission to enter on the runway, which is my holding point. So holding point is the place we took a permission from the ATC that, okay, I'm approaching the runway, please give me approval to take off. It is not displayed here as a holding point, but in the real world, before entering into the runway, you can see the red, yellow cross strips over there where the plane finally stopped for a final time. So you can see the green lights. This means that I already have the approval, but I still follow the protocol, no matter if it is a game or not. So let me stop there. Okay, so take a permission.
Ground.
Holding
Point runway 27.
Contact tower on 118.100.
Roger. Contact tower on 118.100.
Okay, so they are asking me to tune up my radio to the tower from the ground and take a permission for
Tower,
departure.
good day. Holding point runway 27. Ready for departure.
Wind 285 degrees, 3 knots. Clear for takeoff runway 27. Report leaving 3,000 feet.
Okay.
Clear for takeoff
I
runway
got
27. Call you back passing 3,000 feet.
We did this map. Is no more required. Now we are on the way to runway. This is my runway.
Spoilers.
So let's calibrate it first. Okay, let's start. Take your temperature to 20% and then cruise. So I have to go to 161 knot of speed before taking the lift. We are at 56.
80 knots. V1.
Okay.
Rotate.
Alright.
Positive rate. Gear up.
So let me get my navigation on the screen so that I may look through the navigation and the way and the route. So currently I put on autopilot. Autopilot doesn't mean that your plane will fly automatically. You can take a takeoff, you can take a landing automatically. No, the autopilot only helps you to maintain the full pilot. CM captains, they use less autopilot like I'm doing it. So I'm increasing my speed because I have to take where is my flight? This is my plane. I have to take left. So we are on 3,000 feet. So let's take
Tower,
call.
leaving 3,000 feet.
Airborne at 03. Contact. Radar on 118.250.
Okay, I need to
Contact.
contact.
Radar on.
Flaps
Flaps.
up. Very radar. You have to contact for
Radar
departure.
3,500 feet. Inbound. Bravo, India, Papa, Alpha, November.
Radar contact. Waypoint. Bravo. India. Papa. Alpha. November. Heading 283.
So
Radar
reporting.
3,500.
I have to go to
Inbound.
183.
Bravo, India, Papa,
So
Alpha, November.
I'm on the 183.
Radar contact.
So this is navigation.
Waypoint. Bravo. India. Papa.
flight
Alpha.
compass.
November. Heading
So
283.
183 means 283 degree. Now you have to take at the minimum of 2 kilometers. I have to take a turn to left. Let's take a turn. Smoothly, we have to reduce the speed, but we have to speed it. Marvelous. And let's take lift to 4,000 feet. So if you see my plane is tilted from front because taking a lift. This is a New Delhi, how it looks from through the aerial view. I do not know which state this place actually. Low speed, alright. So we are at 4,000 now. Let's reduce the speed because we are going off from the path, from the route. So that's how it looks from interior. So I have to take again a left turn. So we have the winds blowing fast at the speed of 285 knots. In the left direction, that's why I'm playing as fast lifting. So the road we are at here. So we take another turn to the left, to the right. Okay. Alright. So increase the speed, go to 4,000 feet. Autopilot now. Autopilot has increased the speed, now so it is decreasing, keeping it at 50%. Alright, so this is how a plane flies, a takeoff. let me show you the landing procedures, because this takes a lot of time to reach Bombay. So we are at here, and it takes almost 1.5 hours, 2 hours to reach to Mumbai. So skipping this piece of flying, let me go to my landing procedures. Calibrate. Now this is a critical part of your flying experience or your flying hours. So we have a desk. Let me clear the weather. Oh, this is a real that, so I don't need a cloud. So, I need a clear because of the corona lockdowns. The atmosphere is really very clean. So this will be the perfect result. So let me calibrate my device. So slowly lift my flaps. Gears on armed.
Flaps.
So you do it simultaneously.
Flaps.
Because if you go from 0 to 45, your plane will become a rocket. It goes straight to the 90-degree.
Flaps.
We will find out. So my current speed 156, required 270, take the gear down. Everything is at place. Autopilot is still facing challenge for target. Let me decrease my autopilot and take a command in my hand. Runway is 5 kilometers away. So if you see that a small circle on my screen, and this is the target point. You have to aim your runway with this. That's what we're using. So coming back while following with ILS. So ILS seems that my height is too much. Reason why, because I have skipped directly to the landing.
2000.
It should be somewhere here. That yellow, double yellow strips.
1500. 1000. Approaching minimums, 300. Minimums, 200. 50, 30, 10.
Alright. Okay, slow down. Meanwhile, let me see where I have to go. Okay, the same place. So I have to take a left. I forgot to pull my spoilers. I know I'm still learning. I'm not very pro in this game. So I forgot to pull on my spoilers. That's why my flight was distracted from the track. and goes much off on right.
Spoilers.
Navigated.
Tower. Runway vacated.
Contact. Ground. On. 121.750.
Roger. Ground. On. 121.750.
Okay, still a way long to go. Okay. Sometimes it becomes very hectic that they create a very long way to go. I skip this triangle, I go straight. There is no flight. But in real life you can't do this. The air traffic controller then will stop you. If you'll not stop, then there is other precautionary measures that flying this airport generally takes if captain they do not obey their traffic rules. So let's take a shortcut. Singapore Airlines standing on my right. Okay. Take another turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, the fourth one. Yellow strip that you already see. The brake. Alright, okay. Stop. Okay, let's brake. So take a permission from back to the ground for switch off.
Ground. Approaching gate switching off.
Roger. Closer. 17.
Have a nice day.
Before than that, this time I need a APU because we don't have a ground unit going. And ta-da! Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for the more videos.